All right, Sean Tansey. You
Yes,
wrestled
sir.
at Collegiate High School, and you wound up placing at the Division Two state tournament last year.
That's right. Yep. I took seventh place last year, but definitely hoping to place higher than that this year. Hopefully win it.
Right, right. Now talk about some of your matches you had at states.
Um, so last year I was the 9 seed going to the state tournament. I beat the 8 seed. And then in the next round, so I had the 1 seed overall. I was winning that match with 30 seconds left. I was up by two. I was on top. Um, I made a couple mistakes, end up losing to the 1 seed. I think it was 8-7 or something, but by 1 point, um, giving up a takedown with 10 seconds left. Tough way to get knocked out of the main bracket, but I wrestled back, won in the blood rounds, won another one, and took seventh place. But it was a tough loss, but I luckily I finished the tournament, got a couple more wins after that, but that was a tough match, and I'm looking to avenge that this year.
Now it's not common that private schools get to wrestle, at least in New York. I don't know about other states,
Yeah.
but it's not common that private schools in New York City, get to go to the public state tournament. So how do you feel that Collegiate gets to do that rather than going to prep nationals?
Oh yeah, I mean I feel we're extremely lucky. I think that my goal to be a state champion is one that I've had for a long time, and I think that's really cool that I'm going to get an opportunity to achieve that. Um, yeah, we made the switch a few years back, but I think it's good for the team because we can qualify a bunch of guys, bring them to the state tournament, and we get to compete at the same place where PSAL and the Catholic schools are at, and I think that's better than going to national preps.
Okay. What do you think makes it better?
Well, I just think that I like to be at the same spot that all the New York guys are at. I think it was super cool up there last year. And guys I met from Fargo, they're gonna be there. Guys from PSAL, they're gonna be there. Guys from Catholic schools, they're gonna be there. It's gonna be a lot of people I know. It's the place to be in New York State wrestling. So
Right,
I
right.
like that. And yeah, especially with the whole Fargo connection after I went there, getting to see a lot of my friends up there, it's gonna be good.
Right, right, right on. So
Hmm.
it's not very common that New York City wrestlers, at least in like the public school area or even the private school area, they get to go to states and actually get on the podium. It's not common that that happens.
Yeah.
So how do you think wrestling since you were younger has helped you with that?
Oh well, I just been working really hard. So, I mean, I've had obviously some good coaching but really I just have to say like ever since so COVID happened, I couldn't wrestle for a little while, but really ever since I got back, I just never stopped. I did not take significant amounts of time off since for over 2 years now. I have pretty much wrestled every single day, maybe, take a week off here, 2 weeks off there, but for the most part, I've just stayed super consistent for, you know, yeah, 2+ years now. And that's just made huge jumps. And obviously I wrestled a bit before the pandemic. I wrestled since seventh grade. So that helped too with kind of a baseline, but really making jumps happened later when I got back into wrestling and really took it more serious.
Okay. Now, did you always want to wrestle like back in seventh grade or?
In seventh grade, I played other sports. I played baseball, soccer, but I think it was really after my freshman year. So my freshman year, I qualified for the state tournament. I was super excited about it, and I went up to state tournament in Albany. I got techfalled twice. I actually got an injury forfeit, so I did get a win, but I got techfalled twice in my two actual matches. So after that, I knew I made it up there, and I wanted to go back, and I wanted to do better the next time. And that's sort of when I decided, wrestling was the sport for me, and that I was gonna try and do that in college, and that I was gonna, try and win a state title one day.
Okay, cool, cool. Now, talking about the big jumps you made, he's gonna get mad if I don't talk about him, so I have to talk about him. Talk about Mr. Prime Time, Terrence Parks.
Mr. Primetime Terrence Parks. Yeah, no, Coach Terrence has really just changed my wrestling. Absolutely. He has done like amazing things for me coaching wise. So my sophomore year, so COVID had been going on. It started during my freshman year. So it was still going on in my sophomore year. And I started wrestling with him kind of like in secret because there was still COVID restrictions and that sort of thing. And I think back then we were going 3 times a week. And I was also wrestling with Ben Peck, coach of Fordham Prep. I was wrestling with him twice a week. So I was really wrestling super consistently. The other days I was lifting or getting some workouts in. And once I met Terrence, I mean, I have just trained with him like all the time ever since. And he has allowed me to make jumps in wrestling that I just, the stuff we work on is very detailed and his coaching is very detailed. And I really would not be where I am in the sport without him. So, thank you, Coach Terrence. I appreciate you. I appreciate him. If you're watching this.
Oh, he'll be watching. He follows me on everything.
For sure. Good, good, good.
But so yeah, and talk about like, cause you're not the only one. It's also James Carlock and your little brother Leo,
That's
also your
right.
teammates with, and Terrence has helped those guys out as well.
Oh, for sure. So I started working with Terrence, I'm going to say January of 2021. I think James started working with us over that summer. And, James is a guy who I've just, he's always worked hard. He's always worked hard. And I think really recently he's made some huge jumps in the room, especially, so I took a little time off after Fargo just to rest up my body. And James didn't take too much time off. I'd been training really hard, June, July for Fargo. I go there. And then James, he's right back in the room. He trains all of August. And I come back in the room September, ready to go. I'm all excited. And James just looks lights out. He looks phenomenal. He's finishing everything. He really looks good. And so I know that's credit to James. That's credit to Coach Terrence. And that's credit to Suleiman, who had been Suleiman Ba, who had been wrestling with him for pretty much that whole month. So I know they've been working really hard together. And I'm excited to see what James can do this season.
Yeah, yeah. I remember
And
when I. Oh, keep going, keep
and
going.
to speak to my brother as well, he so last year was his freshman year, and he won some good matches. He just missed out on a state qualification. He lost in the section finals to James. um so a little rivalry there, but now Leo's a couple weights up. He's going to be at 32 this season, but pretty much right after he lost that match he was upset, and then he decided he was going to wrestle. He spent the whole season wrestling, the whole spring wrestling freestyle Greco. He went to Fargo. He placed at Greco States. He qualified in both styles, and it was really exciting to see him improve a lot. And now, getting back into folk style, he's looking really good in the room. He got a good win for us the other day in our duel versus Dalton, and I'm really excited to see him compete this weekend and the whole rest of the season.
That's right, that's right. I remember over the summer, Leo came to Fordham, and I had to go live with him, and I actually had to wrestle him. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
all right, he's actually good.
He's solid. He's pretty tall. He uses his length. He's got his beautiful ankle pick, beautiful single leg. I love watching him wrestle. I like to give him some tips here and there. I can help him out, and sometimes I'll wrestle with him a little bit. I'm still obviously got to beat him up because I'm his older brother, but
Yeah.
it's fun. I love wrestling with him, so I'm real proud of him.
Now, are you a lot bigger than him, or is he like near your weight class?
I'm a good amount bigger than him. I'd say I got around 25, 30 pounds on him. So he's the same height as me, but I'm just, a little more filled out. I'm a little more older, but I'm sure that when he's my age, he'll definitely be the same size I am. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's not really competitive matches when we go, but if we can get a good drill in, get a good spar, it's more that than, live goes.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah. Now, talk about that match against Dalton yesterday. What happened there?
Oh, it was a good win for us. We're at home. We put posters all around the school. We told everyone to come. We posted on the Instagram, and I think we beat Dalton 69-6. The only points we gave up was we forfeited 215. So that was a really, really good win for us. A lot of pins across the board. A lot of, some freshmen getting wins. The whole team won. Everyone did really well. So it was really good to see. And I'd gotta say, we had maybe 100 fans, maybe more, just in the gym cheering us on. So that was really good to see. A lot of high schoolers, some kids from the middle school team, and parents and everyone just came to watch, cheer us on. It was really fun to wrestle for them. So
Wow, cool. Now, I've never been inside that place, so like, how big is the gym? And it's 100 people, like a big crowd?
yeah. Yeah. It felt really crowded because really there's only 30, 40 seats for fans. So everyone was just standing all around and there wasn't much space. So it felt very crowded, and it's not a huge room. It's big. So it's about like it's a normal high school wrestling mat and then two rolls of mat on each side.
Yeah.
So all those fans were pretty much standing in two rolls of mat area. So
Wow.
100 people just packed in there, yelling as loud as they could, cheering us on. It was a lot of fun.
Wow, cool.
I love
Sounds
wrestling
great.
for the fans. So
Yeah, yeah. It's great. And it's great we get to do that again.
definitely, definitely. Because I know last year there were some restrictions with COVID and all that, but now it's great to finally have them back.
Yeah. Now talk about Mayor's Cup because that was just it was fun being there. Like,
Mayor's Cup, yeah, that was a great tournament last year. I heard initially it got canceled, so I'm really grateful to Beat the Streets for being able to put that on for us. That's been a goal for me in this sport as long as I can remember. The first time I heard about that tournament in seventh grade, my coach Emerson Miranda, he told me about it, and I think I talked about talked about this with you a little bit right after I won that match. And
yeah.
he told me pulled out this plaque, Collegiate plaque of all the kids who've won Mayor's Cup, and he's like, this looks this looks too empty, Sean. And he showed me I was gonna get my name on there a couple times, and my freshman year I went there. I went 0-2. But I had a close match. But it was disappointing, and that really motivated me to work hard. My sophomore year, obviously, COVID, there was no season. So last year, I was really excited. I wanted to win it, and I was super confident going in. I felt really good. I wrestled really well there. And I had a good finals match with I wrestled a couple kids I know along the way, who are, good friends of mine. Um, so it was cool to see them there. But I just think it's the place to be in New York City wrestling. So I think it's really good to see that everyone there. I know so many kids there, and it's really fun to see your friends, watch them compete, cheer them on. I just think it's really cool because it's better than just the city championships, because you get the Catholic school kids and the private school kids and everyone, and I love to see it. And it was a great tournament for our team last year, and hopefully should be again for our team this year. So I think the team took 5th overall last year, and
Uh,
hopefully this year we can bring home one of those Empire State Buildings.
yeah, yeah. That'd be great. Who'd you wrestle in the finals? I forgot.
I wrestled Bogey from Eagle.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that was crazy.
yeah, yeah. It was a good match. I've wrestled Bogey a couple times, so he's a good guy.
Yeah. I
And
think I might have
we're very friendly. So
yeah, yeah. I think I might have predicted that it would be you and him in like the finals at States. That would have been great, but
yeah, yeah,
the bracket didn't work out that way.
for sure.
Did you wrestle him at States or
No, I wrestled him again at Northeast Regionals in freestyle.
oh okay.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
I won again. Yeah.
Oh you did? Wow.
Yeah.
Bogey's pretty tough. Wow. You beat
Nah,
him.
he's tough, but it was another, good match. A lot of respect for him. I know he works real hard. I know
Yeah.
all these guys from Eagle work real hard. So
Yeah.
respect to him, respect to all those guys for sure.
Now they wound up winning the tournament last year.
They did. They did.
So what do you think is Collegiate's plan? Because the Mayor's Cup's not that far away.
It's true. It's not that far away. It's coming up. But so we had 7 guys who placed last year, and none of them graduated.
Ah,
So we're bringing all 7 back, and I know they had Mayfield graduate. I know that Xavier Giles transferred out to GFA, so good opportunity for him. But I know they've lost a couple guys definitely, and I know our team has only gotten better, and we've gotten a lot better, and I think we can go toe to toe with them and hopefully win.
did
Yeah.
Bogey graduate yet, or is she still
No,
there?
Bogey's got another year. He's a senior as well.
So
But
you and him in the same weight again, or
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him, but obviously a lot of respect to those guys. I know they work real hard, and we work real hard too. So I guess we're just gonna have to see what happens at Mayor's Cup.
I'm looking forward to that rematch.
For sure. Yeah, so am I.
So
So
now,
we placed 7 guys last year. None of them graduated, and we've all been working really hard. So I know
yeah,
a bunch of us been working in the off season. So working in the off season, and the ones who haven't have been really dedicated as soon as the season came around, and everyone really wants to win it. So
yeah. Hopefully you guys could do it, because
yeah.
even when I was in high school, everybody looked down on Manhattan, like, oh, Manhattan's the worst borough. We don't have any good
Uh-huh.
wrestlers, yada
For
yada.
sure.
So maybe Collegiate could kind of, I mean, you kind of already changed that already, placing at States. Not often do we have any Manhattan guys placing, so
Definitely
you could
not.
kind of continue that.
Oh, definitely. That's the goal. That's the goal. I would love to. We have this year in the team. I think we have 7 seniors, and 5 of them have been really committed wrestling since 7th grade. And the 5 of us are so 5 of us plus my brother are sort of the core of the team. And I anticipate all 6 of us guys all placing high, hopefully. And that's what's really going to drive this team. But, we're going to graduate a lot of guys after this year. So this is kind of a big push for us to win it this year
Yeah, yeah.
before we
Now,
all graduate.
yeah. Now talk about Coach Emerson.
Oh man, Coach Emerson, he's great, man. He's the ultimate motivator. He's the ultimate motivator. I wouldn't want anyone else in my corner. He has the most confidence in me every time I step on the wrestling mat. He believes in me more than I believe in myself to win that match. And that's what you need. That's what you need in the corner. And he's been telling me that I was going to be great since the first day he met me. And I know that he preaches that and that work ethic that he's helped instill in me to the current, younger kids. And I see him working with the freshmen every day and the middle schoolers. And I know that he's part of the reason that this team is so good. And, he wants us to work real hard, and he's motivated us to work real hard. And, whether it's pushing us through a hard workout, wrestling with us, or, he's taught me a lot. So I'm grateful for him, and obviously Coach Musicart too, who is the head coach.
Right,
Both
right.
have done a, tremendous job with this program. When they came here, the program, we hadn't had a program for a few years. And their first year, I think I was in 7th grade. And they just took over and they just did an amazing job. They transformed the program from, no state qualifiers, qualifying maybe 2 guys for Mayor's Cup, maybe 1 guy wins a match to, we placed, 7 guys in 13 weight classes last year. So it's a huge change for sure.
That's right, that's right. Now you're looking to become Collegiate's first state champion.
Yeah, that's
So
actually second, because
second?
I
Oh,
want James to win before me by 5
right,
matches, right?
right.
But I'll be right after him.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
yeah, me and James are looking to be the first and second back to back, right? In the
so
same year.
what's your guys plan to do that?
No, I mean, we're just, we're working hard in the room. We get that practice in, we get that, I've been getting lifts in here and there when I can, stay a couple minutes in the room after practice, just work as hard as I can. I've only taken 1 day off since the season started. Even on the days off over Thanksgiving, I was going to clubs, driving, taking the train, whatever it is, to get to those practices, get to those extra workouts. And that's what's going to make the difference.
Right, that's right. So now, what kind of technique does I know what Terrence shows because he's really good with Greco, and that helps. That helps in a big way. But what does Coach Emerson show?
Emerson, he just shows like, tough grind stuff on top. Like his armbar series has really been helpful for me. I use that armbar all the time. I think it's my most of my pins I get with it is from his armbar series. So that's really helpful. And he does, obviously with Coach, we work a lot of conditioning. With him, he often runs us through the conditioning stuff. But he shows really good technique too. He's really good with legs in. So he not only taught me how to be good with legs in, but also defend those legs when he throws them in on me.
Right.
So I think that's really important. And so those are, I'd say, the biggest takeaways from what he's shown me, because he's a real strong guy. So but he shows all good technique. But I think the main focuses or the main takeaways that I've got specifically from him are stuff with legs in, and then also arm bars.
Armors. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Cool. Cool. So now talk about because I think New York City wrestling has this weird dynamic where,
Sorry, 1 second.
Chat,
Oh, all right. Yep, go ahead.
I think like New York City wrestling, we have this unique dynamic. Some might call it weird, where like our coach will be from a completely different area than
Yeah.
where we're from. So usually it's the other way around. Like my coach at MLK, he's from Long Island.
Uh-huh.
There's actually a bunch of coaches from like Long Island, and they're coaching like city kids and all that. So, and a lot of us don't start as early as you did because we don't have the
Yeah,
opportunity a lot of time.
for
So
sure.
talk about having a coach that not only just started wrestling in high school,
Hmm.
but also like he's from the Bronx,
Hmm.
and you're from like nice area in Manhattan, going to a private school. So like talk about like the dynamic there.
No, I mean, he definitely, he he's, told us a lot about whatever. And I think he helps just instill that toughness in us. I think that when he was wrestling, he always wrestled real physical. He wrestled real tough, and he, talk about, when he was growing up, it was tough. same. And so he just trying to instill that toughness that he has from his life into us. And that applies not just to wrestling, but life as a whole. Because Coach Marina, he's big on that mental toughness. You got to do what you can to win, do anything you can to win. And you can break the other guy mentally, and that's what he used to do when he wrestles, and that's what he teaches us to do. So much of wrestling is mental, and I think that a lot of the stuff he teaches us is in here. So I think it's part of that. But also a big part of that is he was able to bring us, because he wrestled in the PSAL. He knows the Grand Street coaches. My freshman year and last year as well, we went to a couple practices at Grand Street. Got to working with those guys, which was huge right before the state tournament. Just get some extra practice in with some of the best guys in the city. And so because of those connections from him wrestling in the PSAL, we were able to, wrestle with those guys. And, he's brought guys who used to wrestle in the PSAL, maybe are now wrestling in college or now coaching, or maybe they've moved on from wrestling, but he's able to bring those guys in to drill with us and that sort of thing. So I've had a lot of, Coach Josh Antoine.
Yeah.
He is a friend of Emerson, who Emerson knew him from back in his wrestling days, and he brought him in to do a clinic for us one time, and that was real helpful. And a bunch of guys like that who, without Emerson's connection to the Bronx and the PSAL, we wouldn't have.
Yeah, yeah. I think that right there is very important because I don't think
Definitely.
besides like maybe Farrell and Tottenville, I know they do that a lot, but like the Staten Island, they do that a lot. But the other boroughs, we don't really intermingle that much.
Yeah, for
At
sure.
least not these days. Like when I was in high school, they
Yeah.
weren't really intermingling. So I
Yeah.
mean, I think in New York City, if we do more of what you just said, if we do more of that, then we can better compete with the guys on Long Island and the
For
guys
sure.
upstate because they do
For
that a
sure.
ton. There's plenty of guys where they're on like completely different teams, but when they separate and go into the state tournament, they're killing everybody. Why? Because they're a part of clubs together and things like
Exactly.
that. So
For
you're
sure.
getting like the top guys in the state, top guys in the country in some cases. They're all in the same club. I'm not saying
Right.
you need to make a big, like a bunch of clubs. That's kind of hard to do for
Yeah.
us. But, like on Long Island and upstate, they have a bunch of clubs and you got
Mhm.
all the best guys training with each other and they're on all different teams.
That's right.
So when they separate and go into the state tournament and stuff like that, they're out there
Mhm.
killing everybody.
Yeah.
So we need more of that. Yeah.
Definitely. No, but right before the state tournament, Grand Street hosts those practices. And they said their room's welcome. Their room is open. So, we got in there, we got some good workouts in, and they were tough, and it helped,
Yeah. Yeah. Vic told me a story actually.
Yeah, what was it? About me?
Remember
Or
no,
about
Jade remember Jaden Cardenas?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he told me that they were doing a warm up. This is a
Yeah.
warm up. And when Grand Street says warm up, it's like
Yeah, yeah.
their version of a warm up. So they
Uh-huh.
were running the stairs and Vic was going behind Jaden and he said Jaden died. And then he had to do the chest pressure and then he revived him and he still had to drill afterwards.
Uh-huh. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, Jaden was a tough guy. Look, my first time was my freshman year. No one really knew who I was. And I got in that room because I qualified for states. And Jaden was in there, and he didn't really know who I was, but I knew who he was because I knew he had done a lot of stuff in this sport. And I don't even know if he knew who I was, but I definitely looked up to him. I was super impressed. I would just watch him and Isaiah's wrestling, and I was just like, wow, they are really good. And now I
Yeah.
think it's pretty cool to think that you know, that I've improved a lot to, hopefully being, at the level that they were at back then that I looked up to. So, you
I
know,
mean, look at what they do. Like, look at Jaden. He's like
for,
beating the best guys in the country up there
for
at
sure.
Cortland. So,
Definitely. He's
yeah,
doing so well.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, hopefully, I mean, probably back then he didn't even know who I was, but I walked in that room and I knew who he was, and I saw how good he was at wrestling, how athletic he was, and I wanted to be like that. So,
Yeah, yeah. I remember wrestling with Jaden before, man. Yeah, he's always a consummate professional. He'll help you out. He's
sure.
willing to help you and drill with you and stuff. And he was just really good at what he did.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So,
Strong too.
no, oh, definitely. No, no. I mean, I never wrestled with him. He's smaller than me, but he was a cool guy to watch wrestle. For sure.
Definitely. Yeah, yeah. So now looking at you guys' schedule, do you have any
Mhm.
like big teams coming up? Any big dual
We're
meets?
Yeah, we're going to a dual meet tournament this weekend. And Iona Prep's going to be there, and they're a real good team. So
Oh yeah,
should get some tough matches in there. With a bunch of Westchester teams, can be like Horace Greeley, is going to be there. I know they have a solid team. And then who else? Most of our duels aren't necessarily that tough besides that, but we are me, James and Leo, or James, Leo, and I are going to Beast of the East.
you
Um
going where?
to Beast of the East.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Where's it gonna be at this year?
I think it's in Delaware, is it? We went
Oh,
last year too. Me and James
oh,
went last year.
oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. Um so that was a real good tournament for us, definitely. I was able to go out there, win some matches. James too. And then we also have 7 spots for Eastern States for the team. So I know me, James, and Leo will go. I'm not sure who the other 4 spots will go to,
Mm,
but that's up to coach. And then obviously the state tournament, that'll be a good one. And then other stuff, Mayor's Cup. I think we're going to Farrell's tournament. So
yeah,
it should be plenty of good wrestling for us.
with the Beast in the East and Eastern States, those are the two big ones before
And
states.
for sure, for sure. No, last year Eastern States was canceled, but we still got to go to Beast, which was really good for us.
Beast to East, that's a big one.
It's a
That's a
big
very
one,
big one.
yeah. Yeah. No, last year it was fun when I went. Yeah, I got to see some friends there. Suleiman was there.
Wow.
It was cool, yeah.
Did you see any of the top high school wrestlers there before they
Oh
got
yeah,
announced?
yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, I wrestled Ty Whalen, Princeton commit. I
Oh,
wrestled him in like the first round. And then I wrestled back and made the Bloods, but so I was one match away from placing, so I definitely want to go and place this year.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully you and James are able to do that.
Yeah.
That'd definitely be great.
Definitely.
Uh,
Yeah, but that's kind of speaks to that toughness. You lose and I lost in the first round and I wrestled back. Um and I made it 5 more rounds in and I lost in the blood rounds after losing in the first round. So
right.
you know, it's a tough thing to do. And I had some tough matches. I made the second day, had to go make weight again, do it all again, won a couple more matches the second day, and that's what you got to do.
Now,
Stay
how do you feel about having to make weight twice? Shouldn't don't you think it'd be better if the tournaments were like, all right, you make weight once and then you just wrestle for 2 days? You think
uh
it's
I don't know. I feel like it's good because it makes people not shoot up in weight. I
mm,
think you're at a weight class for a reason, and I think it's especially for the school season. I know a lot of out of school tournaments don't have that. People weigh in the night before and then put on 15 pounds, and I think that's it's not a good idea if we can avoid that. So I don't mind it.
I have an example from the UFC actually. You probably know when Chandler fought Gaethje, he gained 90 pounds
Yeah,
before the damn fight. I'm like, how did you gain
yeah,
90 pounds? What did you
crazy.
eat?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Hmm. Well, no, I've done stuff like that before. And night before weigh-ins, put on 10, 15 pounds before the match. But no, I mean it's making weight the second day is tough. At state tournament last year, Beast of the East last year, I made the second day of both those. And state tournament, we get back. I had just lost a tough match in the quarters, but I knew I needed to wrestle back in place the second day. And so, my teammates went out, they ate a big dinner. I ate half a sandwich. I got right on the bike with my layers on, lost 3 pounds, went to bed, uh, made weight the next day and, won a couple matches to go place. So
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's right. That's why wrestling's the toughest sport in the world. We gotta do
for
stuff like
sure.
that.
For sure.
So any last things you want to say or
No, just I'm looking forward to the season. I'm looking forward to continuing obviously wrestling into college as well. Um and I'm thanks for having me on. I'm looking forward. I think our team can be really, really good this year. So definitely keep following us.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And I'll see if I can get in the room if I'm allowed.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure you'll be at Mayor's Cup and that sort of stuff. So we'll definitely see you there.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely. All right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, so great having you on.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
No problem.